Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Bad news for the Ethiopian government. Donald Trump, the new US president, has made an announcement which will definitely hurt the Ethiopian government. Secondly, viewers, Tigray Islamic Affairs Supreme Council representatives held a meeting with Tigray interim President Getachew Reda after today's protest in Mekelle. What happened? What did Getachew Reda say? Does Getachew back Muslim's position? Is he neutral? Is he helpless? And lastly, viewers, it was November when Eritrea detained an Azerbaijani ship which entered Eritrean territorial waters. Has the ship been released or not? I mean, uh, over 2 months have passed since the detention of the ship and crew members. So, what happened? Why is that the release of the ship is being delayed? Let's start, viewers, from Ethiopia. First news about Ethiopia. Ethiopia has been relying on foreign aid, food aid for decades. Ethiopia has been one of the largest recipients of the food aid and aid, foreign aid in the world. It has been among top 5 countries of the world receiving the most foreign aid, food aid especially in the past. And despite Ethiopian government's claims that government is producing, the country is producing surplus wheat and exporting wheat, the country still receives foreign aid. USAID is working in Ethiopia. WFP, World Food Program, is working in Ethiopia, and several other donor organizations are working in Ethiopia. War ravaged Ethiopian economy. Natural disasters also hurt the people. So, and then government's policies. In the end, it's the government to blame. Donald Trump has made a decision which will hurt the Ethiopian government and others which have been receiving aid, which are receiving aid from the US. He has suspended all foreign aid for 90 days. No new aid will be announced by the US authorities in the next 90 days. Why did Donald Trump suspend foreign aid for countries? Firstly, said that the countries which receive aid should align with the US interests, and his government will review it to see that the countries align with US policies, US interests or not. Now, this is the most important part. It means that the recipient countries will now have to stand with the US. They won't be able to adopt pro Russia, pro China policies. They'll have to openly stand with the US, it seems. This is what Trump wants. Ethiopia, a BRICS member, improving ties with Russia, China, and receiving huge amounts of aid from the US as well. Now, Ethiopia could be in trouble. Either it will have to survive without food aid, or it will have to recalibrate its relations with the US, Russia, and China. Eritrea banned USAID from working more than 2 decades ago, around 3 decades ago. Eritrea has not been receiving direct food aid, direct aid from the US, though it did receive wheat from Russia recently, if you remember. But this decision won't hurt Eritrea. It will definitely hurt Ethiopian government. Trump, secondly, wants money for his people. He wants to curtail foreign funding as much as he can. He wants to spend on Americans. He wants to improve economic conditions of the people of the US. That is why he is expelling refugees from there. He is cutting foreign aid, and you'll see more actions by Trump leading to generation of revenue in the US for Americans. Americans will definitely perhaps be in a better position economically if Trump survives. But the way he's making big decisions, the big decisions have big repercussions too. Let's see. Can Trump afford to just withdraw from the entire world and just restrict his policies to the US? He has been opposing Russia-Ukraine war, if you remember, and he has been opposing US military involvement abroad. Last time, during his previous tenure, he withdrew some parts, some portion of the military from Somalia too. Somalia also receives support from the US. So African countries will have to stand with the US now openly, or they risk losing foreign aid from the US. And maybe UN as well. By the way, US funds UN too. I think Trump will definitely curtail the US funding for the UN. Last time he took up this issue, I remember. Secondly, viewers, Tigray Islamic Affairs Supreme Council leaders held a meeting with Getachew Reda, Tigray interim president. Know that Muslims protested today in Mekelle. Islamic Affairs Supreme Council leaders led the protest in Mekelle. Peaceful protest. Hundreds were there, if not thousands. It was an impressive show of Muslims. Now, after that, Muslim delegation met with Getachew Reda. And what I said has been confirmed. Getachew confirmed. He said that it's a small issue. It is deliberately being made into a major issue. It is Getachew versus Debrecen. I said that Aksum is controlled by TPLF Debrecen. Getachew government issued a statement. His education wing issued a statement, and he supported Muslim girls' position about hijab. Then the Education Affairs Bureau of Tigray asked schools to implement court orders too. But the Debrecen-backed Aksum government is not listening. So it's turning into TPLF Debrecen versus TPLF Getachew Reda. Getachew met with around 20 Muslim representatives, and he said that the issue will be solved soon. And he said issue should not have turned into such a big issue. This is what I've been saying, by the way. People say, Saji, you are creating conflicts in Tigray. Problem is that whenever I raise an issue which people don't like, they start accusing me of creating a conflict. But time has proven that what I predicted, in some cases, it was proven later. I said this issue will turn into a big issue. Now you're seeing that. Muslims are protesting in Mekelle. Tomorrow they could protest in Addis Ababa too, in Oromia as well. Muslims should not be underestimated in Ethiopia, keeping in with their number. They're huge in number in Ethiopia. And secondly, Tigray has lots of other issues to tackle. Why should it just be involved in a dispute over the hijab of around 50 Muslim female students? That does not make sense, I think. Lastly, viewers, Eritrea and Azerbaijan have been in talks about the release of an Azerbaijani ship which was taken into custody by Eritrean Navy in November. It was the second week of November, I think, when the Eritrean naval forces took into custody an Azerbaijani ship. The ship entered Eritrean territorial waters, by the way. She violated the territorial borders of Eritrea, but Azerbaijani Ministry of Foreign Affairs back then said that due to bad weather, the ship had to enter Eritrean waters. It contacted Eritrean side before entering, but the communication could not be established. That is why, in order to protect the vessel, the crew members from damage, they had to enter Eritrean territorial waters. The ship was on its way. It was traveling between Baku and the Red Sea. So what happened is that after that talk started, Azerbaijan contacted Eritrean embassies in two countries, Russia and Turkey. Almost over 2 months have passed. 24 crew members are still in custody in Eritrea. Ship still in the custody of Eritrean Navy. Talks ongoing, still no breakthrough. What is the reason? Azerbaijani authorities say that Eritrea is conducting an investigation. It wants documentation to release the ship. It is demanding documentation which Azerbaijani government is giving. No clear statement. What type of investigation is being conducted by Eritrean government? What does it want to conclude after the investigation? Azerbaijan, has nothing to do against Eritrea. Some sources say that Eritrean officials are demanding money. They say that the detention of the ship, for that Eritrean Navy had to be mobilized. Now crew members are being kept in Eritrea. So all that requires money. And Eritrea wants money, the expenditure which it is making to be paid to it. Unconfirmed, I'm saying, which I talked to. But so far, no official word from Eritrean or Azerbaijani governments about the issue. Azerbaijan and other countries cannot just infuriate Eritrea because they have to pass through this channel, strategic channel for marine traffic. So they have to have good relations with the Eritrean. Let's see how this issue ends up. Thank you for watching.